And now, from beyond our dimension, this is the JeffMara Podcast. Here's Jeff.
Hello, everybody. You can't see me yet, but I will be there shortly. Let's see if that gets me there now. All right, now I should be here. So, hello, everybody. Happy Saturday to you. And if you're on the other side of the planet, happy Sunday to you. It's great to be here, and it's been a busy week, guys. Every week though is a busy week. So we already have 2 people actually, is it 2 or 3? We got 2 people waiting here. Right, 2 people already there. That's great. And if you are interested in the hidden history of humanity, I had a guest yesterday, basically a legend in the field, Michael Cremo, that wrote the book 30 years ago about forbidden archaeology, the hidden history of humanity. And I hope you will really enjoy that. Also coming up this week is going to be a woman on Akashic Records, and I've recorded a NDE today where the woman was struck by lightning and was dead for 25 minutes. So I hope you guys will enjoy that as well. I'm tempted to get started, but I kind of want to say what's going on next week, but maybe I'll say that in a little bit. So if you're there and you want to join me live, it's very simple. All you have to do is just go to Zoom, click join a meeting, and then in the description below, there's a room ID number as well as the passcode. So you just get those 2 things and then pop in, and you'll be right here in line, basically, or in the queue. Wow, there's already 3 people here. So it looks like today's going to be a really busy day. All right, so without further ado, let's bring in Michael and see what she's up to this week. ID number as well as the passcode. So you just get those 2 things and then pop in, and you'll be right here in the line. Michael,
hi, how you doing?
I see you, but I hear you, but I don't see you yet.
That's because I need to think. Okay, start my video.
There you are. There you are. Hello, welcome back.
Hey, thank you. It's good to see you. It's good to be back. How are you doing?
Great. Very good.
Good. Me too.
So, what is going on in the world of vampires?
Book 2.
Book 2 is out?
Beacon is up. The first book, you may recall, is Chalice.
Mm-hmm.
This is the first sequel, Beacon. See that content warning? Or you can't read it, but it's okay. It's a big stern content warning.
It says if you don't.
Anyway.
Be careful. It's for a mature audience.
That's right. And it says basically by continuing to read this, you are basically affirming that you're over 18.
Mm-hmm. Sounds bueno.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't belong in here if you're a kid.
Uh-oh.
Not yet, anyway.
Not yet.
Things are changing societally. You never know what's going to happen.
Right.
Anyway, so this is out, and the third book, Traveler, will be up by October 31st. And I have a wonderful coupon code again for your folks, which I have already entered into the chat. I'll do it again before we depart, but I'm back.
All right.
Because you said you had more questions, and you've probably forgotten them.
I have forgotten them. It's hard to, I guess, yeah, it is. I'm surprised that I did forget them because I have a good memory and I usually can remember. And I bet you as we talk, I remember them. What were we talking about at the end? Do you remember what we were talking about?
Yes, I do, because I just watched it before. I've got an idea, but not right at the very end. But this is a paranormal.
Yes.
Right? Paranormal. Okay. So what I want to do is I want to make it clear that my life has been an honest-to-God paranormal romance.
A paranormal romance, yes.
Yes.
Oh, you know, it's so fascinating, and I wish it's starting to come back to me that this week, I think that I just talked to a guest about having spirit people relationships like you have. It's so fascinating that I love how in this, I just have to look at my calendar, but I love how that one guest leads into another and another. And it may have been talking about, we were probably talking about, maybe when it was someone talking about twin flames and stuff like that. And maybe that's what made me think of you. But that's during the week, post our last. Was
that by any chance Megan Rose, Dr.?
I've had Megan on, Dr. Megan Rose.
I know.
Yeah.
Yes, I saw.
We have had her. Have you spoken with her?
No, not yet. No, but I watched a few of her podcasts to get the taste of her. You know what I mean?
Right.
I tend to think in terms a lot of times of that, colors and tastes and sounds and how they're intertangled. But in any case, so I had this relationship with this presence all of my life. And for about 5 years, 15 to 20, I thought it was an imaginary friend. Okay.
Let me stop you. I don't like interrupting people, and I'm sure my audience knows that I rarely interrupt people, but I think I just remembered what we were talking about. And somebody said, we were talking about soulmates. And this guest said that soulmates do not exist on this side. Your soulmate is, I guess 99% out of the time, your soulmate is on the other side. You don't incarnate together unless you have you're here to do some mission together, maybe like star seeds. Which I think made me think of you, because if this guy may be your soulmate that only exists, you guys will not incarnate together.
He is more, not in this world, we haven't, but he is more of a twin flame, actually. He tells me we were two perspectives in one mind. He refers to what we have as a bicameral consciousness.
A bicameral consciousness?
Yeah.
What does that mean, bicameral?
Two heads, two minds, two houses.
All right.
Two houses. And so it's like the mind is divided. The brain is divided, in fact, not the mind.
Right.
The brain is divided left and right. And Michael has as much said to me that he interfaces with my body through the right brain, because it's a different type of intelligence than the left brain.
Okay.
And I tend to be identified as the verbal consciousness, whereas he tends to exist outside of space-time and to only interface using the right brain. And so when he shows me things, a lot of times it's so interesting, Jeff. It's like they're almost like flowers of knowledge that drop in as a seed, a core or a kernel, and then it elaborates itself. If this is true, then these things must be true. And it takes time to like open in the mind because there are so many ramifications. But, it's one of those revelatory moments where all of the dots of your past reckonings, the image you drew, the way you connected the dots, the daemon comes in and changes the connections and a totally new image emerges. And it's genius when it happens. And so, yes, go ahead.
All right. I was thinking, I think that your ex didn't really approve of this relationship between you and the other side, Michael.
He was intimidated by it, I think.
To put it lightly. But did Michael approve the relationship of you and your ex?
He liked my ex-husband. He liked the first husband. He said he was a nice man. He just wasn't really for me, and that he would more or less interfere with what I had come here to do, what we had come here to do. And he kind of waved time in front of me. At that time, I was 29, and he said, we've got a lot of stuff to do, and he might not approve. He's going to want you to be a satellite in low orbit around him. Yeah. And do all the stuff he wants to do. He's not going to like it when you suddenly start devoting yourself many hours a day to writing and really get engrossed in this other world. And that is indeed what happened. Bob I think he felt, and my sister has voiced the same thing. She said, when you love a writer, you have to understand they don't live in just one world. They live in every world they read and every world they write. And so they can be writing when they're sitting there talking with you, listening to you, and they're not entirely listening to you. Part of their mind space is separated off, creatively working on whatever project they're working on.
I'm almost thinking that's a lot of people that are not really listening, not just writers.
I think so too, but I think with writers, because we're so imaginative and go so deeply into our heads, that people can feel a little shut out. And I can understand that, but it's not intended as certainly not any sort of infidelity. I'm sitting there writing a story. Where's the problem?
Right.
Anyway, so my life has been a paranormal romance. And when I said to Michael, hush up, I'm going to marry him anyway, leave me be, Michael got quiet for 6 years. He emerged to tell me when I was in imminent physical danger. And as I was a professional diver at the time, scuba diver, I was often in imminent physical peril. And other than that, he was quiet. And suddenly one day I came in from final exams. I'd been cramming for 3 days, and so I hadn't slept. And I sat down on the couch with a beer and was thinking about what I was going to do for the summer. And I had a Kundalini awakening. My tailbone thumped. Shakti rushed up my spine, bounced off the inside of my skull back to the tailbone. 3 times it did this. And Michael, in not words but concepts, said, go sit in front of the word processor. I have a story to tell you. I promise it'll be a great adventure.
When you hear Michael, is he as loud and as clear as if somebody was literally sitting in the room with you talking to you?
No. The daemon, and that's what Michael is to me, the daemon. The daemon is the consciousness that sits outside of space-time and has the long view and is able to guide you, the diver, down in the dark depths of the imaginary world, the dream world. Okay. So what did you ask me again real quick?
I was saying that when you hear the voice,
no,
do you
it's not a hearing.
You don't hear the
not
voice.
With ears. You don't hear with ears. It is a telepathic type of thought transfer that is actually just happening through my own wiring. I have heard Michael. I have seen Michael, okay, a number of times. It's a rare thing. If I'm in imminent physical peril, I will hear him say no or stop like a voice. But other than that, no, it's usually pictures. A movie in my head runs of what is about to happen. And it's got maybe a 5 or 10 second precognitive effect where I have a chance to avert it.
Yep.
That's the kind of ways he talks.
And you're saying he's not a spirit guide, he's not a guardian angel, he is a twin flame on the other side. He's
a twin flame. A twin flame on the other side. A soulmate is a different thing, and these are other incarnations, possibly of your same daemon's energy, can have more than one iteration of themselves in the physical plane, but it's not really your twin flame. A soulmate may be sprung off the same vine, so to speak, right? So the daemon may have me and 4 or 5 or 6 other iterations in the world, various combinations of traits in bodies that regard themselves as little egos and minds running around doing their daily thing.
Now, when you use the word,
can end up soulmates.
When you use the word daemon, that's nothing like demon. Is there any connection between
D-A-E-M-O-N? No connection. Demons are discarnates who just don't have bodies. A daemon is a benevolent guiding spirit that has lots of bodies. Okay? Lots of them in many time streams and possibly different versions of the earth, other worlds. Okay? The daemon can really get around because space and time have nothing to do. In fact, that's something I think I mentioned last time, that I have a portal that's shown up in my writing, and I didn't understand the significance of it, but I was going through Lexapro withdrawals in the last year, and I had to use that. I would go into that space to be close to Michael because I had met him there before, this locker room, and I would imagifest myself into the locker room and feel it and hear it and smell it all around me, and just really do this vividly, just to escape the agony my body was in. Okay, and that has done something to that venue. It has changed it. Now I go there and things happen without me having to do it.
Are you a member of my Discord? Do you know what Discord is?
No.
Discord is like Facebook, but different. It's a free platform. It's a place where you can go and you can chat with people. You can send memes, videos, video chat, audio chat, whatever. It's really cool. There's at least 500 people that are all members of it. It's like I said, it's totally free. All you have to do is go to discord.com and sign up and get your profile. And then if you look in the description below, there's a link to join mine. It's kind of like you're joining my chat rooms.
Okay.
And this is just for you, and whether you want it to do it or not, I'll love you the same. Doesn't matter, but you may want to go there and tease everybody. Post a page of your book or something there, and but give everybody a sample. You know how kind of Amazon does that, where you know how Amazon kind of like, you can, sometimes authors will let you kind of scroll through a few pages here and there.
Sure.
I'm just throwing that out there.
I could make teaser files. That's not a problem. Discord, is it spelled D-I-S-C-O-R-D?
Yep.
And anybody who wants to look for my books, The Fiddler's Laughing Bride is the story of me and the daemon Michael, okay, and how our relationship evolved, and that is at Cracked Pot Publications. Now, cracked is like cracked past tense, C-R-A-C-K-E-D, Cracked Pot. Publications.com. And I've already put in the chat the coupon code twice. I'm going to do it again. And the other 2 books, Chalice and Beacon, that are the story that Michael dictated to me to write, the daemon Michael, are also there. And the coupon will get you 20% off all of it. So go take a look, because not only is it, when I told you it was deeply philosophical, I guess you see what I mean more now.
Right, and we talked
Yeah.
about there are elements of your NDE in the book.
Yeah, there are a few characters who have NDEs.
Right. That's
Actually,
yeah, and I think we spoke
all of
about
them.
that we spoke last week about that would be a very
Yes.
fascinating idea of a vampire having an NDE.
They all have NDEs when they are made vampire. They go into a coma state for a few days, in which time they are functionally cast adrift in the lustrous void and have life after life after life in various worlds that's compressed into those few days in Earth time. But when they return to the Earth venue consciousness, their body is just in terrible shape. It's uncomfortable. It's driving them crazy with wild sexual imagery. They're full of lust, and they're like a barroom brawl of urges and discomforts. And they are certain that this world is just a dream because they've just had all these lucid lives that they visited, and they kept their lucidity as they lived life after life in that compressed time, and they're like certain that it's all just dreams, and so their morality is kind of warped too, compared to what anybody who hasn't had an NDE or a similar experience is not going to understand them saying God does not care what we do.
Right.
It's all just a dream.
Right.
And of course, we care what we do. You will convict yourself. So it is not licensed to go running amok. Indeed, it's exactly the opposite. It's saying, no matter how driven you are,
well,
you can't just go run amok.
I'm going to throw this out there, and I got right before I run because I got to run, but
All right, love.
I saw in the chat people looks like they like to talk about vampire stuff. So if everybody wants a new room within my server, I'll create, I have one called UFOs, one called NDEs. If you guys love to talk vampire stuff, then I will create a vampire chat room.
That would rock like a baby in the You could count on me to show up often.
There you go. All right, Michael, and I got to run. Great seeing you.
Thank you very much. It was good to see you,
Likewise.
darling. Think of questions for next time. I'll see you next week.
All right. See you later.
Bye-bye, baby.
Bye-bye. And a big round of applause for her. All right, next up is Saryan. Now, Saryan was a previous guest, and hopefully he can remind me what podcast number he was, and I hope a lot of you guys remember him. I had him on at least a year ago, maybe even more, and I think he's going to be updating what he's up to these days, and I wish I would have reviewed. I can't remember what we talked about. Saryan, how are you?
Hey, I'm good.
Great to see you. Nice to see you again. It's interesting is the last time we spoke, I had long hair and you had short hair, and now we're in reverse.
Yeah.
I cut it and you grew yours out.
Yeah, it's halfway there. It's gonna get a lot longer, hopefully, before I'm done.
Oh, you're gonna look like a wizard.
Yeah, I've always wanted to look
beard.
like a wizard.
That's cool. So, do you remember what podcast number you were?
I don't. I didn't really look that up before I came on, but it was in December of last year. So it's
December of 22?
Yes.
Or 21. So
22.
So it's like
about 7 months.
7 months. Okay, for some reason I thought it'd been longer than that.
Yeah.
Do you remember what we spoke about? I wish I would have reviewed, and I don't.
We were all over the place. Human origins, extraterrestrials, the afterlife, the simulation theory. I think we touched upon a wide range of things. I talked a little bit about my background with out-of-body experiences, which is like one of my areas of expertise. But I happened to mention on that show that I was going to soon be transitioning away from channeling readings for people, because I've been doing that work to introduce people to their spiritual guides for like 17 years now. And I was just feeling this guidance to shift gears and to create room for other projects. And I had such a flood of people contacting me for sessions after being on that show. So I just want to thank you, because you have such a responsive, amazing audience.
Yeah.
And I got to meet so many wonderful new people through that connection that I spent almost 6 months doing more sessions that I've done in a long time, because I just wanted to connect with as many people as possible. And now I'm about a month into that transition where I've created a big clearing in my schedule, and I'm now moving on to other projects, one of which is the project to really put more time into educating people and teaching people that want to learn how to channel.
Yeah. Okay. So now you're teaching how to channel. Interesting.
Yeah, I mean, I've done some teaching before, but now it's going to become a little bit more of a regular fixture of what I do. So, been developing free resources for people, and some of them eventually will be paid workshops. But for now, I'm working on the free resources.
Can I ask you one thing real quick? Is there some
Sure.
kind of noise in the background of where you are?
There's a fan going. I can turn that off.
I don't know. I don't think it's a fan. I just felt like there was like almost like kind of weird noises. I don't know.
Let me turn it off really quick, and we'll
see what happened.
Yeah. How is that?
Maybe it was it. Maybe it wasn't. I didn't even recognize it.
All
So you didn't actually do a live channeling during our podcast, right?
I did not do a live channel.
Who did you used to? Were you channeling people's higher selves for them, or who were you channeling?
I have been trained to channel any ascended master, angel, extraterrestrial guide, any kind of spiritual guide of any nature that might want to come and speak to someone. And so a lot of the sessions I've done have been to introduce people to the guides that are showing up and working with them, and to give them information. I mean, the guide is usually the one giving the information about how they're going to be working with them and what they're going to be working with them on to help them develop certain skills or overcome certain challenges in life. So that's been a big part of what I have done. And I am still going to be doing sessions, but people would have to sign up on the waiting list on my website so that they can be notified when I decide to make some openings available. But I also channel ongoingly for a group of people that I've been channeling for since 2015, and I do that at least once a month. And occasionally I do other things that are open to anyone for free or donation basis. Cool. I actually just received an update from the Arcturians. They came in and asked me if I would channel an update from them that was open to the public, and that's on my website, saurion.com. Anyone can go there and register for that and get the replay. But the Arcturians came in, and they love to plant seeds to give us a little bit of an idea of where things are going, so that we know what to reach for. And the thing that they spoke about that I thought was really interesting was they brought up the topic of racism, which they've never talked about that before, but it's something they said they also had to deal with at certain points in their history. And they said that just moving from a racist consciousness being present in the world to non-racist, it doesn't really encompass the full potential of what the next level of evolution looks like. And they said the next level of evolution that we're reaching for, that would take us, well beyond, like a quantum leap beyond the level of consciousness where racism even exists, is a level of biological unity. So they talked a lot about biological unity and what that looks like and feels like, and how we can start to prepare ourselves for the onset of collective brain evolution. So
this is a little bit, I'm going back to channeling here. So you're going to start teaching channeling. Do you believe anyone can do it?
I do. I do, because I've come to understand that the human body and chakra system was designed to be able to do this.
Really?
Like if human beings in our fully awakened state were functioning, all of our chakras were aligned and open and functioning and connected with our multidimensionality, one of the things that we would all be doing potentially is interacting with non-physical beings coming from all kinds of different realities that might like to visit our reality and learn about life on Earth with us as the tour guides. So one of the examples I could give of this was an experience that happened a long time ago where a being from another world showed up and had a conversation with me, and I invited this being to walk in and walk around in my body with me for a couple of days, and I was the tour guide showing this being around this reality. And at night while I was asleep, I was having memories come to me from this being where they were sharing with me their experiences of the world that they came from. And that's the type of thing that our bodies and consciousness were designed to be able to do. It's just not something that we've explored widely yet in human history. But the fact that somebody like me is having that experience, and there are people out there that were writing about it even before I started having that experience, that is a seed of future potential that is starting to awaken.
Why aren't we then doing it? I mean, why do we need to be taught?
I think that it comes down to several different factors. First of all, there's a fear factor. Things have to be addressed in such a way that new experiences are made safe. And that's part of what I do. I help people to connect with how safe it is to open our inner senses and connect with the unknown, this larger unknown reality. When I first started channeling, I wasn't able to see or hear. When I started to open, I would feel things, and just feeling and not being able to see or hear what it is I'm feeling, it's like, where is this coming from? It's kind of scary because there's not a confirmation of, is this bad? Is this good? There's nobody giving me instructions. I had to feel my way through it. I had to overcome the fears. I had to develop discernment. But what I learned is that when somebody has enough courage to open that doorway, you have guides that automatically are there to teach you how to discern energy, to work with where you are at and help you take whatever the next step is for you. And that looks a little bit different from person to person. But I'm starting to become aware now that there are stages that people go through to learn this type of experience and potential. And that these stages, even though there are variations from person to person, some of it is fairly predictable. And that's what I'm starting to teach, so that I can help people identify what stage they're in, and then what the next steps would be to make a breakthrough and progress into the next phase.
I was thinking that you may also need to teach people how to get in contact with their guides as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, that is, it encompasses all of this. So at the forefront is my passion, my desire to help people develop a lifelong conscious relationship with their guides. And I think a lot of people don't realize how easy it is to begin to open that doorway. A lot of people are expecting that they should be hearing or seeing or feeling things right away, but it all begins with intention. If you start to talk to your angelic guides, I always try to point people to the angelic energy first, because I feel like that's the safest way to go in the beginning.
Right.
But if you just start to talk to your guides like they can hear you, which they can, then you're sort of shooting past where limiting beliefs have stopped you from even trying, because sometimes we have these beliefs that anything happening in our imagination is not real.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Wow. All right. So you're into teaching channeling now, and all that encompasses. What else are you up to?
Well, there's a few different things. As you guys have probably heard, there are some really major disclosure hearings taking place in Congress coming up this next week.
Right.
There's a lot of preliminary hearings and introductions, kind of setting the stage for what we're moving into. And there are various government whistleblowers coming forward. I've been reviewing this information, partly out of my own curiosity and interest, but I was also invited to do a YouTube live decoding what's being presented, which will be like a longer presentation than we're going to do here. So I'm just letting people know. So like on Tuesday of this week at 9 a.m. Pacific on the Portal to Ascension YouTube channel.
Mm-hmm. That's with Alan?
He
Is that
sometimes
Alan Steinfeld's channel?
he sometimes is a co-host on that channel. It's Neil Gower is the host of that, and Alan is one of them. He has his own channel as well, and which is called New Realities.
Oh, okay, yeah. I've had Alan on before, and I knew I always associated him, I guess, with the Portal to Ascension. But that's right, he does have his other one.
Yeah, he's got his own, and he's on Portal to Ascension a lot.
I think that's going to be amazing because, like, if you guys all remember, like last summer, I guess, was the Johnny Depp trial, and people had like YouTube channels covering it live and commenting. But I guess that this UFO disclosure is going to be happening on C-SPAN or something, and you guys are going to be commenting on the disclosure live as well?
This is going to be a specific presentation. I don't know how long it'll go. I mean, it might go for an hour, it might go for an hour and a half. I am already listening to what is being lined up and decoding the language that's being used so that I can provide a kind of a oneness perspective and some discernment about what's going on, because there are a lot of different agendas involved in this. Yeah. There are agendas of control. There are agendas that I would say are coming from the light and from knowledge and truth and human sovereignty and human freedom. And you're seeing a mix. I'm hearing a mix of both of those in there. And so I want to try to break down some of the languaging that I hear being used and what I feel it's connected with, just to kind of pass on a little bit of discernment. And also coming on the heels of this Arcturian update, that's also provided some perspective that's very interesting.
I don't know if you'd be willing to do this, but do you think you could come back next week and give us a synopsis, a very short synopsis of what you learned through through this disclosure that's going to be happening? I think that would be awesome. Does this one, is Stephen Greer involved in any of this? I know he just had something that happened a few weeks ago, but I don't think this is, or does it have something to do with him as well?
I have not checked in as to how the timing of this next disclosure project events were intended or unintended to line up with this. Yes, he just has done the release of his next film. He also has been, bringing out different witnesses that have been working with him through his disclosure project. And so the fact that he has that coming out and this is happening, I think it's all really good news. Yeah. Some of the things that people are saying, even members of Congress, to frame this in the right way, I think is very useful and supportive. And I can feel that there's a lot of good that will come of this, but we also have to become that alert and knowledgeable citizenry that Eisenhower warned us that we needed to become to guard against misplaced power, because there's a lot of misplaced power. And what they're proposing to do is honestly not even going to come close to touching that misplaced power. So I believe that there's still a lot that we have to do, both as citizens participating in democracy, fighting for truth and freedom. And there's also things that I feel we need to do within ourselves that can have a huge impact.
Wow. All right, Sarian, before I run, what is your website so people can find out about your channeling?
Yes, classes? The website is my name, saryon.com, SARYON. And also you'll find on the front page, or you could go there directly, channelingnow.com or channelingnow.com/register. I have a free course that teaches 13 lessons for learning how to channel. And for people that actually sign up at channelingnow.com, I'm going to be soon releasing a free guide as well, which links to a number of different video resources and classes about creating angelic protection, things that people would need in this process of starting to open that doorway. And there's a lot more to come.
Awesome.
So I had to still connect with more people and support them.
That's great. All right. So thanks for coming on and sharing with us.
Thank you.
I hope you come back and give us an update of what you learned, and have a great rest of your weekend. Great catching up with you.
Yeah, you too. Thanks a lot.
All right. Take care.
All right, see ya.
All right, bye-bye. All right, that was Sarion. So that'll be cool. They're having that big UFO disclosure. I think that's on the 26th. And it'll be nice to have an update and, see what's going to happen with that. Unfortunately, I don't have time to sit and watch that. I guess I could if it was only going to be an hour. That seems kind of short for a big deal. I would assume it'd at least be an all-day thing. But if we can get an update from him, that'll be awesome. I want to say to Chiyoko B, thank you very much for that super thanks. I really appreciate it. And I saw at one point, I don't know if she's still here, for Michaelin and anybody else, the Discord information's below in the description. And let's see what's up with Ray. And also, if you want to join me here live and share your experience or talk about whatever, all you have to do is go to Zoom, click join a meeting, and then it gives you in the description below the password and the room ID. It's real simple.
Hello.
Hey, Ray.
How's it going, folks?
Good to see. Well, good to hear you. I don't see you yet. There you are.
What are these updates?
There you are, and you're all dressed up. You're looking good. You are looking good.
For y'all folks. For y'all folks.
Russ, thank you. I'm not wearing a Saturday's my this is casual.
Right.
If you see I wear a shirt and tie every day, but today, especially right now at this time of the day, it's so hot.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So what do you have to share with us today, Ray?
Well, let's see. I'm going to give you a little clue.
A little clue. I see the Enterprise and I see a shadow being.
There you go.
Exactly. Being, yes.
Yes, I've seen one.
Really?
Physically saw one.
How'd that happen?
About a year ago.
Mm-hmm.
What's happened is that a cousin of mine moved there about a year and a half for a while. So he's been there.
Your cousin went where?
Went to Texas.
Oh, okay, in Texas.
Texas,
okay.
in Texas. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, Texas, Dallas.
Okay.
He was in Dallas.
Right.
So he moved over to a big, huge complex.
Mm-hmm.
A nice place, hot.
Yeah.
Right? Hot and dry. So he's showing me around. Anyway, back to that story. So I Google mapped it and everything. When I got there, I drove there from North Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And his son went downstairs to pick me up because I don't know the place. So I stopped on the sidewalk and moved the car toward the garage where I could park the car. Parked the car, pulled out my luggage. So he showed me how to get to the entrance. As soon as I got to the entrance, as soon as I stepped on that entrance, I said, "There's this building built on top of a graveyard."
Mm-hmm.
And of course, he laughed. I laughed too. We giggled about it. I'm like, "No, Ray, this is new. This is all new. Are they kidding me?" I'm like, "Oh, okay, I'm just saying." It's very cold. The building is extremely cold when you walk in. The view, the feeling, the lighting, everything was just flat. Got upstairs, set up. Now his mom has a respirator and all that stuff. So she's in her 90s and she's getting old. So she has her own room, bed. And one night, at 3 a.m. in the morning, as they go, twinkle, twinkle in the middle of the night, got up. As I was walking down the hallway, at her bedroom, was a shadow man look just like this. Just like this thing here. Looks exactly like this. About full figure. Couldn't see the images or anything. I couldn't see no details whatsoever. Mm-hmm. It looked exactly like this. Mm-hmm. Sharp, everything.
Did you get scared?
I didn't start that yet. I thought it was my cousin. I said, "Hey, I was like, hey, what's up?" So I'm going to the toilet. I thought he was just checking up on mom. That thing went that quick, right into the wall. I like, what did I just saw? No. Mm-hmm. So we're literally just as close as this. So I walked over and said, "There's a solid wall. So how could I go through a wall? What the hell did I see?" Well, I had to go to the toilet, did my thing, came out. That's when it hit me. I'm like, "What the hell is going on?" You know, I got a little, not scared, but more like concerned. What is going on? I said, was that true? That what's going on in this building? Got up the next day, asked my, went to bed, nothing happened. Got up the next day, asked my cousin, so, I just saw a shadow figure last night. He said, "Oh, that was just," he was just like kidding, like, "Oh, yeah. I was up. I was just checking on mom." I'm like, sure, all right, okay. So he didn't want to admit it. So his son decides goes doing research on a property. What do we know? There is a graveyard. They built right on top of it, and there's an old like a church building that's still up, and there's a couple more tombstones, and that's it. It's just sitting there. It's all fenced off. It's a parking lot area. I like, I knew right off the bat. I told them that it's they disturb the graveyard. He's, "Oh, no, that's not a graveyard." Son checked it out. Said, "Yep, that's a graveyard, all right." I like, "See what I tell you?" Well, what do you know? 2 weeks later, he called me up and said, "I've been seeing stuff corner of my eye, shadow something, and with dark corner of my eye." I said, "Didn't I tell you that?" He's like, "I've been living here for 2 years, almost 2 years. It makes a lot of sense that a lot of people move in and out of the complex." I'm like, "Wow, that's interesting." So he started to see it. Another 2 weeks later, he moved out. He literally packed up and moved his mom and everything.
I wonder if he's ever spoken to any of the other tenants and they've told him that they see ghosts or shadow people.
Right? Yeah, I still got the address. It's public. It's enough where there's a a food place. They could just park in.
It'd be crazy as if they had a Google review of the apartments and a bunch of people said, "I don't know, but I feel like there are ghosts here,"
Yeah, exactly. There is. I guarantee you'll see them. It's there. So came back home. Yeah.
When you mentioned that his mother was so old, I thought perhaps it was somebody there just visiting, but apparently it's not. It's someone that, has to do with the graveyard.
Right. People were moving in and out. People were moving in and out. Yeah, he was telling me about that. He said it didn't click or nothing like that. So it's either someone was playing with spirit board or whatever, that kind of stuff. So
that's interesting.
That's one of my stories. Yeah.
Maybe somebody had been playing with the Ouija board in the complex and brought him out.
Right. Exactly. But so anyway, I talked about it a while back ago. I made myself a spirit box.
Oh wow.
Yes.
Does it work?
Oh yeah. Let's see if I can find a battery.
Let's check it out. See if you can get any spirits to come. Merlin used to come with his.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if Merlin still has his or anymore, but how did you set, what is yours? I saw a wire hooked to, what is that?
That's just a cord.
That's the cord. What I mean that.
Yeah.
Is
so
that
you can plug this thing.
What is that thing?
This is a radio.
Okay. Is that going to just scan through a whole bunch of stations?
That's correct. I made a scanner out of it.
Oh, you wired it up yourself?
Wired it up myself.
Oh, right. Wow, that's awesome.
Digital radio.
All right, so it's going to scan through.
So it sweeps. This is this electronic board is a sweeper. It's like it mimics the pushing button. Click. Now, let me see if I can find
What are you, an electrical engineer or something?
Yes.
Really?
Physics major.
Really?
So I do,
That's awesome. What'd you get? Did you already graduate?
Yeah, Kenyon College.
Kenyon College, you got a degree in physics?
Ohio. Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome.
Hold on a second. Let me
That's
see if I can
amazing.
find the battery.
Dana says it looks like a glucose monitor. I would agree with that. It looks.
It does, I know.
Uh-huh.
You can find this at Walmart. Put the little battery in there.
It looks like one of those radios that you would just kind of strap to your arm while you go jogging or something.
All right. Ooh.
And Tanya said she likes your bow tie.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Those aren't easy to tie.
Well,
Well, I guess
no,
once
it's
you do
easy.
it for a while, I guess it becomes easy. But
Yeah, people at work used to tease me on it. They would pull it.
oh
They
yeah,
would pull my tie apart. Yeah, just to prove that it's real.
that or
They
they
had to
wanted to
learn the
test
real
you
one.
if you really knew how to tie it.
Correct. And it got to a point where I could tie it without the mirror. No mirrors.
Wow, that's good.
I
Did you
don't
make
have it.
that shadow being? How did you make that?
Oh, that's an easy one. Hey Google, gaming room on.
Oh, that's cool. Oh, okay, wow.
It's just a hat.
Oh, it's just a hat, wow, well, that's amazing. And the lighting, it looked like something that you created. That was really pretty wild.
Yeah, thank you. That's I'm trying to find a AAA battery for this thing.
Susie says if there's a Catwoman or a Batman, she's in.
Oh, she's in it? All right.
All right, so we are going to see if we can connect with somebody on the other side, right?
Sure.
Have you been successful with it previously?
No, I'm afraid of it.
You're afraid of it?
Yeah.
Well, then why'd you build it?
There we go. Ah, we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Get that little light on.
Maybe with all of us, we're all here with you to support you, all 233 of us, 4 of us.
Sure.
You won't be scared. We'll all cheer you on. Unless you want me to talk to the spirit. But I don't know, you got headphones on, the spirit may not hear me.
That's right. You can't. Yep, there it goes. Go on.
Thank you, Megan.
Yeah.
All right. So what is that? What is the red? Yeah. What is that canister in your hand for?
This is a speaker.
Okay, that's the speaker hooked up to the radio. I don't hear any. Is it supposed to be? Should I hear like some static or hear it cycling? I don't hear anything.
Yeah. Oh, really?
No.
But you hear me though, right?
I hear you, yes, but I don't hear the radio.
That's because I don't want to let you play louder. Gone. Hello?
Do you hear it?
Yeah. But anyway, there's a little LED
I'm not.
light.
Let me put on my other headphone. Give me 1 second here. Maybe it's the wrong headphone. I don't hear anything. Does anybody in the chat hear anything?
No, but that's as loud as it gets. Volume up.
You hear it as you're sitting there?
Yeah. I hear it through my headphones too.
Oh, well, maybe. Oh, no, but it's also coming through your mic?
Ryan. Yeah, that's as loud as it gets.
People are asking me what is Comcast. I don't know what
Comcast.
I don't know what Comcast is. Maybe that?
Comcast is a isn't it a cable company?
Yeah, I thought so. So
But the speaker is on.
I asked for people, yeah, see, someone else, Lisa Anna says, I don't hear anything, and I don't hear anything either.
Oh, that's it. Well, next time I'll put an amp on it. show you guys how
All right. All
Oh,
right.
it's
So
on.
that means
It's on. The thing is on.
Oh, you may be on the. Yeah, that's true. Wait, where'd you go?
Right here.
I lost your video. What you may need to do is if you go into your Zoom settings, if you go into your Zoom audio settings, and there's something that you can check that's like says you're doing live music or something like that, because Zoom does have like an auto canceling, like when people come and try to play music or sing or something, it kind of it background cancels, like a noise cancel. So maybe that's what's happening. I lost your video. I lost your video, by the way. Your video feed is gone. Now you're back.
There we go. Ooh.
Can you
Don't hear that, eh?
Can you go to your audio settings? Open up your audio settings.
I'm learning this without getting you disconnected.
All right. Are you on a PC?
Yes.
At the bottom left, there looks like a microphone, and then there's a little.
I see.
There's an arrow, and there's an arrow.
Up.
Click the arrow, and then it says Open Audio Settings. Let me see. Maybe we'll do it together.
Yeah, I got it.
Audio settings, and then in the audio settings, ringtones.
Mike.
Maybe we got to go to advanced. I don't know. I'm just guessing. Echo cancellation. No, I don't think it's on the advanced.
Nope.
There's something there.
I don't even know where it's picking this up from.
Audio profile. Oh, here it is. Okay, I found it.
Found it.
In your audio, you don't be in advanced. You just go to regular audio settings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you with me?
Yep. I'm on audio.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you see where it says audio?
Speakers.
Do you see audio profile?
Yes.
Now, if you go down at the bottom, right before you get to ringtones, it says original sound for musicians.
All right.
Click that.
Yeah. Original sound for, did it. Echo cancellation, high fidelity music.
So if you click that original sound, maybe that will. Did you click? All right, now hold up your thing and let's see if we can hear it.
I have no idea where this mic coming from. Yeah. Wow.
I'm surprised.
Yeah. Won't let me noise cancel it. Isn't that interesting? It won't accept the sound. It's on. Oh, I just heard something. Okay. So anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can figure it out, and you come back next week, and we will talk to spirits on the other side.
Right.
We can get it. We can get it sorted out because Merlin used to come and do it, so I know it can be done.
It can be done. Fair enough.
It's been done.
It's been done. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Do I have to like burn any sage or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it can be done.
Little candle. Yeah. Oh wow. So this is interesting. So that's just one of my ghost stories that I've gone through. Moving objects. I was a little kid. It has happened where a cup slid, bounced up and down on a glass shelving.
Yeah.
And my mom told me it was it's not wrong. It's a 200-year-old building. And I've been getting all kinds of horror dreams, all kinds of stuff there when I was living there, from falling to what do you call it when they hold you down? You can't move when you wake up, sleep paralysis.
Yes,
I've gone through that.
Wow,
gone through that. Gunshot wound. Spirits going through me. Yeah, it's horrible. I even had it was like a sucking wound that my body actually felt it waking up.
And let me ask you something real quick before I go here. You're a Cherokee Indian, right?
Yes, sir.
And I had a guest on not too long ago, and we talked about the Cherokee Little People.
Yeah, they used to call me little. My cousin used to call me little people
But
because
you're not little
I look
enough.
like them.
Well, I don't think
No,
you're little enough because I think they're only
yeah,
supposed to be about 3 feet tall. Are you
right.
aware of that, of the Cherokee little
Yes,
people?
yes, very much. When I go camping a lot of people, people who don't understand. When I make food for everybody, I always make an extra plate, and they're like, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, this is for somebody else." And I don't talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I would take it into the forest and leave it there for
Mm-hmm.
for the little people
Oh,
to
cool.
eat. Yeah, yeah. So yes, we do believe in that stuff.
That's awesome.
Hardcore.
Cool.
Yeah, but we don't talk about it too much.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like UFO sightings. So who are you gonna talk to? Tell people about that.
Yeah.
It is Choctaw. They used to call us cave people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why they call us Cherokee and all those type of who we are. But we were considered as cave people because they saw the little people first before they met us.
Mm-hmm.
So when they met us, we all sort of look like, little, guys like me,
Mm-hmm.
long hair,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and everything. When I was younger, a lot younger, of course, not now. I got all this stuff.
Right.
Yeah. When I was young, my cousin used to say, "Hey, little man, little man." I'm like, "Look at the little man, little people, hey, little people." Yeah. So I thought they were making fun of me because I'm short.
Right.
That's what it was. As
Right.
a little person, and that was it. And that's how I learned about it. My grandma told me the story,
Mm-hmm.
But be careful, who you talk to about it because people are thinking nuts.
Mm-hmm.
And the little people don't like that.
Right.
They do listen.
Oh,
Yes. Because Mother Earth listens.
yes.
They listen through that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, Ray, thank you for coming and sharing with us. I hope I see
Yes.
you back next week and we will
I'll
be
get this
talking
thing
to
going.
spirits.
Yes. We'll get this thing going.
All right, Ray. Have a great
All
rest
right.
of your weekend, bud.
Yeah, you too. Enjoy, everyone.
All right,
Thanks for
take care.
listening.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
All right, that was Ray. A big. Oh, I don't have my headphones in. I can't even hear that. 1 second here. There's a big round of applause for Ray. Good for me. All right. All right. So we got a prayer request, and so maybe everybody can say a prayer for Megan Mariah. She was in a bad car wreck last Sunday, and she broke 3 ribs, her shoulder, her lung collapsed. At least it's back and it's inflated again. But if you guys are out there, she could use some positive energy. And this is Evo Life 360, trying to connect, but when I paste passcode, it tells me that's incorrect, Evo Life. I'm not sure what you're doing. Sometimes when you highlight passcodes, you end up, I've done that before, so that's why I'm guessing. I've highlighted a passcode, so I don't have to retype it, like you're logging into something. And if you just go past it, you end up adding a space. And you don't realize that you're doing that. So maybe you might want to try just keying it in instead of cut and paste or copy and paste. That might be it. But in 3 years, I've never changed the password. I think. I don't know. I don't change the Zoom password. It never changes. Actually, it has never changed. I was thinking about the Discord. But for Zoom, it never changes. I don't know if you're talking about Zoom or Discord, but if you're trying to get in here with me, Zoom, it never changes. So it's just something simple like that. Oh, Discord. Well, the Discord, I haven't changed it in a long time, and I think I got it set now where you don't have to change it anymore. But if you continue having problems, let me know. What was Comcast in 1993? I think that was cable company. I think Ray was right about that. I was talking last week about my eyes. I was wearing my glasses and my eyes have been bothering me. I finally decided they just were staying red. I was trying eye drops. I tried like some what is that? Just some tears, liquid tears. I don't know. There's a word for it, but just for dry eyes, I tried that. I tried like allergy drops, and I finally just broke down the other day and decided to go to the optometrist and have my eyes look like, and unfortunately I have a mild infection, but I never was really in any pain or discharge. It was just this redness, and I thought, well, maybe I'll get it checked out. So at least for now, I'm back to glasses. I think some people like me in glasses anyways. I don't know what I'm going to do. I would like to, if I stay in glasses, I would like to, have these. I want to get some of those cool glasses where people also tint them a little bit. Like if you guys have ever, seen your celebrities out there, they wear like those, a lot of people now, or at least celebrities, wear these tinted glasses. I think those are pretty cool. I'd like to get some of those. Maybe I'll get something like that as well as these. I know I've worn before sunglasses, and some people didn't like that. They said they wanted to see my eyes. So, and my beloved wife agrees on that. She wants me to stay in glasses. She doesn't want me to go back in contacts. She's concerned for my health, which I appreciate that. And Karima says, salt water for your eye. Thank you, Karima. So that's with that. And then, hey, we finally passed 100,000 subscribers. I didn't even mention that. So, and I just want to stop while I saw that. Elisa Thornberry had an NDE. You can either, why don't you come on today or contact me so we can talk about it. Well, thank you, Angela, for that. I appreciate that. So yeah, we passed 100,000 subscribers. That's awesome. It's funny. It's like the last couple weeks, it was just going, the subscriber count was just going so slow. It seemed like it was just taking forever. Maybe because I kept thinking about it, right? I kept watching it, desiring it. And now that it's passed, it seems like it has sped up. So when maybe I took my attention off of it. It's going quicker. So anyways, thank you all so much for being subscribers. I think it's really awesome. And as I said before, and you guys are my regulars that are always here, that once I get it in the box, I'm going to open it up. We'll at least get to open it up together. Save it. I won't unpackage it till we open it up. And Luke's saying I'm our future cult supreme leader. And royalty, Mara, 100,000, yes. So that is really cool that we passed that. There's a bunch more people here, so I don't know if you just jumped in or what, but tomorrow's guest is a very famous guy. His name is Michael Cremo. In 1993, this is the 30th anniversary of his books. He wrote Forbidden Archaeology, The Hidden History of the Human Species. I think that's the title. Anyways, we talk about the human history and the human hidden history. And if you are into that stuff, then I think you're going to enjoy our conversation. I really enjoyed our conversation, and he's agreed to come back. He has another book called Human De-Evolution or Devolution or Devolution, about how we're devolving instead of evolving. And I think that will be an amazing podcast. So I hope that you guys will enjoy that. As I said that, yes, you better open that. Yes, Tony Koretsch. Yes, we will. I won't even take it out of the box or anything. Let me see here. And I had a podcast today with, I'm just kind of updating you on what's going on until someone else decides to join me here. Let me pull up my calendar. I had a podcast today with a woman that was struck by lightning. The lightning went down the wall, hit her in the watch, and then went through her body. And she was dead for 25 minutes. She said her body was blue from the neck to the waist. It turned her body blue. She was bleeding through her fingernails. And it put like Stars of David on her. So I thought that was real fascinating. But we talked about that. What date did Westinghouse bought CBS outright? I have no idea. So that was hers today, and it was a cool NDE, and I think you guys will enjoy that. I also spoke to a woman named Erin today. I can look at my notes. I can tell you it. here somewhere. Erin. There she is. Woman, Erin, I don't have her last name on there, but she is a neuroscientist and a degree in psychology from Columbia University, one of the Ivy League schools, and she is really into Akashic records. So we went deep into talking about the Akashic records today. If you guys are into the Akashic records, I think you'll like that. We talked about, what are the Akashic records for? Why are they useful? We talked about them. Even the halls of another guest of mine brought this up. The halls of Valenti, I think is how you pronounce it. And we talked about the halls of Valenti, which was fascinating. I'd never heard that until that previous guest was on. And we talked about different star seeds, star beings, star families. We talked about the different, I think she says, and I'm just kind of trying to remember, that there are 45 different races of beings or star seeds. And we were talking about, and she doesn't even know. And again, I love how one podcast kind of links to another. Just even like Michael and earlier today, I was talking about soulmates. But if you guys saw that video, and if you haven't, I think you should go check it out, of the woman who dated a reptilian shape-shifting ET. Well, we got on the subject today about reptilian ETs, and she was talking about the good ones and the bad ones, and I believe she was also talking about the shapeshifter. So that one, I believe, so that's kind of linking the last one and validating Carrie's story. I think that was Carrie Cohan that dated the shape-shifting ET. So I thought that was really cool. And Elizabeth says in the chat, said she's had an NDE. Wherever you would like to talk about, you're welcome to join us now, Eliza, if you want to join us and share your NDE. Or otherwise, if you look, our new website is JeffMara Podcast. In there, you can see our email address. You can email me and we can schedule it. Mara went to go find Mika, because Mika got a haircut today, or just the other day. She got the lion cut. Lion cut. She's going to bring her over. The halls of Amenti, not Valenti. Thank you, Yashi. Yes. We love her face, nice and fluffy. Before that, they would trim her face too much, and she becomes kind of rat-like, rodent-looking. But finally, they left her face fluffy. See how she's nice and fluffy, but then her body is all trimmed down, and she's got these like little, if you see her feet, she's got like these little balls on her feet, the way that they trim her hair. So that's Mika today with her new haircut. Yay, Mika. All right, so those are the next three guests: Michael Cremo, Aaron, and then it was Ella that was the one that got struck by lightning. And I have one to record on Monday, and we're talking about something to do with mutants. And I don't know, I haven't sat down and got my notes ready for that podcast yet, but I have in my notes mutant. Let's see, what else is coming up this week? A gentleman on Tuesday to record an NDE. A guy that I'm going to be recording, someone that creates binaural beats on Wednesday. Another man on Thursday for NDE, and then a woman named Dulcinea. I don't know if you've heard of Dulcinea, and she's some type of animal communicator, most likely with animals on the other side, that I have her coming up. And that is this week coming up right now. I don't know if I have. Sometimes I schedule people further out. But I think that's what I have. And then I have a woman, I guess, the following week. I don't know if you know of a woman named Nicole Magic. and she's had a NDE as well. So lots of NDEs, lots of other stuff. I try to, like, for me, I think my best scheduling, since I think the best would be to have 3 NDEs a week and then 3 other a week, right? So that way, because I know the majority of my audience is really into NDE, so I want to provide that, and then other things. What do you guys think about that? And it'll take you, I guess, a few minutes before you'll actually hear this to answer my question, but that's what's going on with that. What else do we have to share? Anything new? Any new, do we have any new updates? Not that we know of. For some reason, we're still working. We have the new mug, and haven't been able to get it on here. If you go to our Shopify store, our merch store, probably the links down below. You can see that our very own Penny Sutton created the artwork for that. And I'm having trouble to populate it in here, but it's a UFO and a heart, and I think it's kind of. Let me see. I have to pull up my desktop here to see it. I can tell you what it says. It says "love each other," and it's a UFO with a heart. So it's really cool. It's really cool, and we're working on it I want to have it like every month release a new mug and then the corresponding T-shirt. And what I like about it is it's not like JeffMara. I mean, I like the JeffMara podcast stuff. Nothing against that, but I want something that's, just something different. And it has the JeffMara symbol on there. If anybody knows how to make an emoji, if you could let me know, because we have the design for an emoji. And it would be really cool if we can somehow put it out there. It's like a JM emoji. It's really neat. And that's actually Penny designed that for us too. And it's like a J and M, but it looks like the J and M are holding hands. So that's our JM emoji. And that's actually, if you look on the mug, that's going to be like the JeffMara brand. So with that's kind of another thing we're working on. We've been working on our JeffMara podcast website. It's probably 90% finished, and I don't know if I talked about this last time, but I finally went ahead and created a brand new Spanish channel and a Portuguese channel. I was just putting them on this channel, but I think it was kind of I don't think people liked it very much. It was like too much stuff, and then they knew they weren't going to watch it. It was like maybe annoying for people or whatever. So I went ahead and I just finally created brand new channels for that. And so they're there, and I need to kind of follow up with that and see how we're doing. And I need to kind of keep up with that. It takes a long time. It takes me to because what I have to do is I have to go through the entire video and listen to it, and the text from the entire video is created for me, but there's mistakes because the system isn't perfect yet. So I have to literally listen to the entire thing and go through and correct the mistakes as I go. And it takes for an hour video, it takes literally 4 hours to do that. And then sometimes sometimes I have to even, sometimes it's just I can't even understand what's being said either, and I have to kind of listen through back and forth again to kind of figure out what's being said there. So they're really time what's the word? It just time, there's a word for it. I'm sure someone will put it in the chat, but it takes a lot of time to create those. And I really, I had been doing you can kind of work as you go and then save it and then kind of keep going. So it's kind of like I've been trying to do one a week. And just lately I've had a lot of extra things going on in my life that has been even more crazy busy, I mean, I've just been insanely busy, and a lot of my time has been really taken up, and things are about to get better, though. And I'm not fluent in Spanish or Portuguese, Sarah. But they overdub my voice for me. You basically, it's called dubbed by Aloud. It's this service called Aloud, and basically, once I fix the text, then they overdub my voice and the guest voice for me, and then you kind of mutes the original audio, and then it redoes the voices in Spanish and Portuguese. And I think it's cool. I mean, I don't speak Spanish or Portuguese well enough to know how accurate it is, but I think it's good enough, at least. I mean, I haven't had any complaints. So it is time consuming, yes. There you go, time consuming. That's what it is. It takes a lot of time. But now that that hopefully my time is starting to open back up, if I can just put in like an hour a day during the week, then I can kind of try to do one a week. It's kind of like the goal here, is just to kind of get one a week done. And what do I do for work? This is it. What you see is what I do for work. Tony, correct? I'm not sure how to pronounce that. And so this is it. Every day, I'm here talking to you guys and the guests. What about a video of somebody hypnotizing someone else that wants to recover memories of alien contact? I have seen the videos out there of I don't know if you'd call it live, but there are videos out there that you can see somebody being hypnotized and doing like some type of regression. Those videos look like they last at least 2 hours, because, you know, it makes sense. Who knows how long it's got to take to relax somebody. But there are people that do that. I don't know how, I think that the audience for that would have to be somebody that's really into it, because probably most people would want to just jump ahead to right when they start, recounting things, and that, and skip all the beginning and get right into like they're seeing their past life. I just heard a message. I heard that massage therapists have to get fingerprinted. It's possible. I would probably, in some states, what they're doing is, if you're any type of healthcare worker, and a massage therapist would probably fall under healthcare, that they're printing, they're getting their fingerprints. As many of you may or may not know, I'm also a chiropractor. I don't practice anymore. I do keep a license. I keep my license current. And the last time I practiced was, I think, 2 years ago. And I basically went and covered somebody's office for them for a couple weeks. And, but a few years ago, even for my license, they required me to go get fingerprinted. And I've had a license in Texas for a long time. That's something kind of new. So I think over 20 years. And I think that's just something that's, I guess I don't know why they're doing that. I'm sure they have, I'm sure they have a valid reason. I just don't remember it. But that's something, so I could totally see how they're doing that to massage therapists as well. And so that's good to answer your question. And I thought we were going to have a busy night tonight. We started out busy, but it's just one of those nights where it's going to be all me. Elizabeth Thornberry, I tried to call, but it said incorrect password. I haven't changed the password ever. Well, that was on Discord. The other person was Discord. And he said, Evo Live said he tried to type and couldn't connect. Gives me the same internet password. Oh, Vanessa Vega. Oh yeah, I knew that sounded familiar. Vanessa Vega. Vanessa, you're not able to get into Discord? I mean, you're not even able to get in here live? That's strange. Maybe that's why that's just me only. It doesn't make any sense though, because like I said, I have never changed I don't change the password for Zoom. It's never been changed. They have to go on Zoom first. And Vanessa's been here many times. I'm not sure why Vanessa can't connect because she was just here a couple weeks ago. Now this is pretty cool in a way. You get to see a sample of my life. See this kind of glitch here? These weird glitches happen with the guests all the time. And we usually, 99.9% of the time, we figure it out and the show goes on. But weird stuff happens all the time. So I'm not really sure. Now, Vanessa, I think, may have been an NDE, so that would make sense, maybe that. And here, Eliza said that she's had an NDE, so maybe some of that weird, maybe their energy is affecting it. But we've had 2 or 3 people tonight so far, and it hasn't said anything or done anything. And here's a great thing. Joey B says the spirit box changed the channel settings. And Dana says that too. Glitchification. And someone else wanted to do it, said it's on 10%. Oh, Melissa. Zoom broke. Zoom's here. That's strange. If I leave Zoom, then I have to leave the whole thing, and I don't want to start over. I don't know why it should be working. Were you a fan of Coast to Coast? Yes, I was, Trey B. Yes, I was. And if you notice the announcer at the beginning of the podcast, he used to be the Coast to Coast announcer, and he's no longer with them. And he is now, I got him. I hunted him down and found him. RJ, thank you so much. RJ Spina's here, and I think we've scheduled in August to have RJ back on to talk about his new book. His new book's coming out, so we'll have RJ back. How will you love the show? Must go on. We love just chilling with you. Thank you, Nanya. Thank you so much. Well, it's your chance to ask me anything you like while we're here until we can figure this out, or to get someone else on or figure it out. Yes, the Villier. Yeah, his name is Ross Mitchell. He has an amazingly deep voice. I love his voice. And so that's him. I searched him out, found him, and got him to introduce me now. So I think it's great. They opened a door to another realm. Zoom doesn't exist there. Yes, maybe that's what happened. I mean, seriously, I've asked some of the guests before, because I say, you know, enough weird stuff goes on when doing this podcast that I just sometimes, I kind of joke about it with my wife, but I sometimes, you know, wonder is there something going on, you know? Ronnie Dawson was excellent. Ronnie Dawson is amazing, and he's been on here on the live with us as well as our regular podcast. No way to call the landline. That is the password D48XU. Can you see in the description? Oh, it's a capital X. See, I see that. Yeah, Tanya said the same thing. It's a capital X, and if you don't have the capital, that'll do it. Wow, Indigo. You see his comment. No, we don't want him to do that, like the guy that came before. Because have I ever had any paranormal, alien, spiritual experience in my life? As I spoke, well, I guess I spoke to it someday. I was telling my guest today when we were talking about it. Obviously, you weren't there for the recording, and it was off air too. It's not even going to be in the video. But one time recently, I could have sworn that someone said, "Hey, Jeff," and I was kind of like in between sleep state. I maybe had, you know, woke up in the middle of the night and you're between going back to sleep, and it was as clear as day, like somebody sitting in the room with me. And it was spooky. I just sat up and looked around. I mean, I was that clear. I mean, imagine like somebody being in the room with you. And I looked around and Mara was laying next to me asleep. And I thought about waking her up, but I didn't wake her up because I wanted, thought about maybe if she heard the voice. And, but that was it. That was the only time. And I was talking to the guest about that. And she was thinking, maybe it was somebody that knew me that was just passing by and wanted to say hi. But I don't really recognize the voice, unfortunately. I'm not sure who that was, but maybe, and I don't know why it hasn't happened again. Because we were talking today about, did I shut it down because it kind of spooked me when I heard that? Or again, was it somebody just passing by and kept going? All right, so it is working because Michael's here. So we know it's working. So if you have you want your dreams analyzed, get ready because he will let you know what's going on with your dreams. So at least we got a confirmation that it's working. That's good to know. And Michael, are you there?
Yes.
All right, so we good to know that it's working because what people are trying to get in, but it's not working. Did you have any trouble?
No, and that's partly why I did it. To be, after being on the show, I've always I kind of keep that email around.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever I click on it, it automatically takes me here. I don't have to like re-sign in.
Okay.
So
right.
So yeah, I figured I saw everybody having trouble. I said, let me test it. I've never had an issue.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, that's.
And I figured we could talk a little bit about dreams, if that's what we want to do.
Yeah. I just announced. It's like about a 30-second delay from me speaking to what you guys hear. So, as you were coming on, I announced if you have a dream that you want analyzed, Michael will be here.
Yeah.
And so we'll see give it a minute.
And as usual, Jeff, that's fine because I can tell you and share from my heart, I want to be a blessing. And it's like this gift is also a gift to give. Like I get the gift in giving it.
Right.
And the whole gift, it also teaches me. So the latest thing I've started to more fully understand by talking and reflecting on dreams and having conversations about it, which surprised me, was what is the basic function of a dream? Okay.
Yeah,
we all having, dreams, even when people think they're not, they're having their dreams. So what is the basic function of a dream? And I was focused more on what dream interpretation was doing and how it could be cathartic. But really, I've started to understand that all dreams are trying to improve your life. They're like therapy. I want to change this paradigm. Let's get this. Each night when you go to sleep and you go unconscious, this thing is happening, this energetic form, right? And it's like a therapy session. That's what I prove by interpretation. So but whether I'm doing it or not, it's going on and it's processing your energy. So it's trying to make you better so that your life can be better. This gets very interesting because when you add dream interpretation or lucid dreaming, it adds the awareness, which would facilitate or expedite. That's a nice way to think of it. Expedite that aim that is the dream's cause. Does that make sense?
What about people who say that they don't dream? They say they never dream, or at least to me, they don't remember them.
Usually I have my book right here. So when I did the book, I studied it from everything that I know about dreaming, including my research. Everybody dreams. People who don't dream, they brought them in and they did sleep tests with them, and their eyes move exactly like your eyes move when you're seeing what happens with REM. So it does happen that many people not remembering their dream just say they don't have them. And by the way, here's an interesting thing. If you feel me on this, Jeff, super, let's say, intellectual and rational, right?
Mm-hmm.
And sort of non-spiritual, you will have, what I have discovered, okay, this is maybe a lot to say, but you will have more trouble understanding your dreams. There is an intuitive way of being where certain people do not have that, and those people remember their dreams a lot. Other people who are sort of, who have a very specific non-spiritual way of thinking, they immediately forget their dreams. This is a pattern I've noticed again. So I'm working on that, but that is something I've seen.
All right, we've had a lot of
dreams. I'm ready.
We've had a lot of dreams blow by here. So let me go back to the top here.
Yeah.
And see if I can find the first one. I had a dream that I hit someone with my car and the person I hit died.
The person they hit did die?
Yeah.
Okay. So this one is relatively straightforward, though it's very profound. It means that you think that certain actions that you are taking, maybe a direction that you are going in life is going to hurt someone else. And for it to be killing would be like, you know, a severe pain. So something like this could represent, again, you'd have to go into more detective details, but like breaking up with somebody could be symbolized with this sort of thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
All right. I dreamt I was on a bus with a lot of people and suddenly there was a swarm of bees. I stopped time and safely walked through the swarm of bees and got off the bus.
Okay. So being on a bus with a bunch of people, when we use that language, what we are saying is we are sharing this idea with a lot of people. You get me on that? So you're on a bus with a lot of other people. You're in public. You're sharing this. So there's just this symbology of sharing this idea with a lot of other people. Now, the idea that is being shared has to do with, okay, well, bees. This is interesting because of how, like, how rich or how deep that that symbolism is. I'll take a guess at it, but that's a very deep symbolism going from the creature to what they do to how they structure their societies. But yeah, but there's something that's a force, okay, because it's a group of bees that you feel is attacking you. So one way, if we want to make this practical, which I haven't done great at doing here, is, but if we want to make it practical, this is something where the person feels like they're following something along, like for example on social media with other people on the bus, and then that there's an attack on that.
All right. Let's see another one.
I'm gonna have to study bees a little bit more.
There you go. A large room full of people all hugging one another. Don't remember anything else.
Okay, so the idea here is exactly what you would think it was. Like if you saw that, you'd be like, well, what's going on? It's connecting, it's affection. And if you want to sort of play with the with the implications, you'd say that a person having that is either feeling it or desiring to feel it.
All right. Let's see. Where's the next one? I'm getting kind of, I think it's possible. Maybe it kind of passed me this way. I started to float in the air while shrugging in a way, like I told you so.
Oh God, that's so good. Wait, you said I started floating away?
I started to float
like,
into the air while shrugging in a way like I told you so.
Oh, I love that. I love that, right? And it's cute, and it's funny because you guys laugh at me, but it's like, for with knowing the symbolism, that for me feels and looks like the when a person becomes what they are spiritually, what they knew they were from from the very beginning. Like the caterpillar knew it was a butterfly, but when it talked about its wings, everybody doubted it, right? So when it finally gets its wings, it's like, yeah. It gives that shrug, like I told you so. I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
I was surrounded by white light so bright that I couldn't see anything but white light, but it didn't bother my eyes. It was as if I was surrounded by pure white clouds.
Well, Jeff, sometimes I want to go into your mind and soul based on like the type of stuff, all the stuff you've heard. And because this certainly, for example, brings to mind the NDE testimony, right? What is the NDE testimony about this light? It is that it is a light which is ridiculously, absurdly, hallelujah, bright, and yet it doesn't burn our eyes. Right. And so certainly, I think that what's being referenced in that dream is the glorious divine light, which founds creation.
Right, I agree with that. I had a clear dream that I was lying down and being slid into a cemetery mausoleum, and I was back at my mom's house. I knew they were using me to create the right size crypt for someone.
Okay, so now this may sound very complicated, but really, again, all you're doing as a dream detective is you're taking the parts that are there and you're kind of linking them together. I was going to stop touching my face. So this is going into a cemetery, and then I think she mentioned moving, or the person mentioned moving back into their family's house. Those two ideas, as strange as it may sound, are having a correspondence. There's a symbological correspondence. So what is felt on the outside, like that's going to kill me,
right?
Is the sentiment that's being given.
Yeah, moving back home with moms. It's like death.
Yes. Yep, you got it.
Dreaming of always being chased by someone with a gun.
This reminds me of when I first started doing this, and sometimes I would just go and find people's dreams and people be like, oh, I was being chased, That's a very classic dream, among the dreams. And it means we are running from. And then if you want to make it specific, like you fill in whatever you're being chased by, So if you're being chased by death, that means you're running from death, This person said, Jeff, they were being chased by what?
They were just saying that they were always being chased by someone with a gun.
Okay. So then we would look particularly, because sometimes people are chased with like our zombies and all sorts of things, like what the gun is. Okay. If we want to get deep, let's get deep for a second. So what is a gun? A gun is a weapon that is artificial, made by the mind of man. So what this fear is tied specifically to that. Right? That's how you would do that. And again, but it is a fear you have in life, something that when we have a running away dream, we're being told very clearly we're running away from something. Okay. Wow. We don't got to be a therapist. Your dreaming mind is talking to us.
And here's one that's, almost similar to that, kind of on the back of that one. I've dreamt about being in a large building and running throughout it and hiding from enemies and looking for weapons. So again, running
I used
from
to have
something,
a lot
right?
Yes. So, and again, running, all of the things that you think of as a symbol in the spirit, they're just that energy. You see, they're the energy that founds that thing. Like if we were to walk around, we could go and be like, what's the energy that founds that? right? Okay, I don't want to go too deep into that because I'll lose the dream. But you can really do this with all objects, all things, right? There's an energy that's behind it. So being in a building means being in a context. It's represents a way of thinking. So you have a particular way of thinking, and within that way of thinking, it involves being on the defensive. Okay, that's the essential philosophy, essential energy that's there, right? Being on the defensive, feeling like you need to escape the situation. Okay, this is the type of feelings and actions that are being represented when we were like running around, hiding. Each one of those, just to be clear, representing a type of thing that we do internally. Like hiding from an issue, running away from an issue. They're literally different actual, things.
Do you record your own dreams daily?
I don't record my own dreams daily, but I do. What I do that's probably maybe people would find it interesting is I have gone back into my dreams and sought to and change, and actually not sought to change them, and change them, right? Because what people like to talk about and think about stuff like the law of attraction, but they think of it with words. And I'm telling you that my testimony of my life is that our language is not words, it's symbolism or symbology. So literally when you go in, what you're doing, what you want to do, I would say, is you want to change the picture. So I had a dream where I saw now this is very interesting. In the dream, I was thrown into a basement, okay? It was like one of those movies where the person gets kidnapped and they get thrown into a basement, right? There's a little bit of a testimony. And there was like a window, but it was like it was like a thick glass, and I couldn't totally see the sun, and I couldn't stretch out all the way. And hallelujah, I thank you, Lord, for this testimony. And I couldn't stretch out all the way like I felt it, right? And when I woke up, I felt that limitation, right? And the limitation that I have been overcoming in my life, right? So then the Spirit said to me at that moment, what would you do if you were locked in there? And by the way, here's a funny little note. I was locked in and the lock was on my side. Thank you, somebody got that, right? Like in the dream, right? Like the lock was on my side.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So when I woke up, and again, I was in the alpha state and I kind of just woke up, like I thought about it. Instead of moving, I just sat there, and that helps us if we don't move a lot. I just sat there and recalled the dream and thought about what it meant that I couldn't stretch myself, that I couldn't see the sun. I knew that symbology very strongly. That's about spiritual expansion. So then I asked myself, what would you do? Really, the Spirit asked me that. And I said, if I was locked in there, I said, I would imagine my way out of it. Like I testified like that inside of me. And so then I started doing it. Then I started going in there as much as I could. And actually, here's, for example, where it gets trippy. Once I went back in, I found things like secret doors that opened that I didn't see, that were already there in the original dream. So that's, for an example, a way of playing with dreams and of exploring this world, because again, it is certainly a spiritual dimension for sure.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna see if I can try that. If the next time I wake up, either in the morning or the middle of the night, because sometimes I wake up, and it's probably many people do, you wake up, because I think actually we sleep in 90-minute cycles. Your body goes through a 90-minute sleep cycle, and then you do it again and again. Sometimes you wake up and go back to bed, and sometimes I guess maybe you just keep cycling through. But if I wake up, next time I wake up, and if I can, and the dream's right there in my mind, hopefully I can analyze it and get access to seeing what I need to do.
Here's a little tip for everybody, including you. If you just keep a Post-it, by your bed, something as small as that, and you write down the word, again, because I don't know, a lot of people, if they wake up in the middle of the night, they might want to go back to sleep. But if you have just a few words, then yeah, you can even jot that down, because it will cause the association. Like I sometimes have said, it's kind of trippy, so I'll share it real quick. One of the things I tested, Jeff, that I learned from the Silva method was, they gave this method where you took a glass of water and you said, I want to remember my dreams. You drank half of it right before you went to sleep and half of it when you woke up. And I truly think my powers have surpassed that. I can speak with the spirit, but I tried that many years ago, and something happened where, like, I remember I woke up and like, I remember I reached for the water and I drank it, and it was like these rays suddenly that were visible rushed back into my face, right? As I drank the water. It's like rushed back into my imagination. And as it rushed back into my imagination, I rememred what I was dreaming about. It was trippy.
Amazing. Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's a method they teach, actually. I took from that, and I build all sorts of methods when I'm talking about this stuff, or when I've written about it in my books. Like, hey, here are some of the ways you can play with dreams. You can, because some people just saying, I want to remember my dreams. Some people just putting like a Post-it right there, like, what did I dream? Just that will trigger these type, will help.
What do you think about the Silva method? Do you think it was valuable to you?
The Silva method was incredible. It was definitely super valuable to me. It's one of the things that changed my life.
Have you implemented a lot of their teachings into your life and still use them?
Yeah, I mean, certainly what they taught me was to go into alpha state real quick. Like, they taught me how to, so I actually have used that to this day. Like, for example, if I'm talking to you, and let's say there's a certain, like, if my emotions shifted, if I want to go deeper into my alpha state, like deeper into a state where I'm ready to perform, ready to focus, I put my fingers together. I'll do it down here. But yeah, I've used techniques like that. Just, again, the main thing that was really beneficial was it really trained me how to just go into alpha state.
Really?
And, then there were I think there was that with a few other things that I did in my life that really have given me this sensitivity to symbology, including in the scriptures but obviously in dreams. But yeah, I definitely, Jose and Laura Silva, yeah, they, I can't, they were a blessing in terms of what everything that they did to show us where we are and sort of be forerunners for this movement.
Yeah, they've been around a long time, I believe. And I think actually they're from here in Texas somewhere, either Corpus Christi or Laredo or somewhere.
Yeah, Jose Silva is for sure a forerunner. Brother was out here like in the 70s experimenting on his kids, giving them, trying to trigger their superpowers. What? I'm all about it. So I started studying him. Again, he's so good because they actually provided meditations that people could listen to, the sound, the alpha sound, so that the alpha sound, just listening to it, trains your brain to be in that state,
Right. I should get one of those guys on as a guest. Do you think he'd make a good guest?
Well, Jose Silva passed away several years ago. His daughter would be Laura Silva. If you could get Laura Silva on, that would be fire. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think that's a good person. We should get her on as a guest and have her talk about the method and maybe give us some stuff, give us some free tips or whatever.
She is super practical. I mean, again, I learned a lot of what I would call practical stuff about using your imagination. Really. I'll give you this one example. She once suggested, and it kind of blew my mind, you going into a space of imagination, meeting in a room with an older or younger version of yourself. And when you do stuff like that deep, it changes you, you get things happen. So yeah, I always, I'm a fan. Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, Michael, the Dream Detective, thank you so much for coming and sharing with us. I'm going to leave here soon, so I'm going to let you go and give my final thoughts. I think this has just been a glitch tonight. So many people in the chat said they try to get in and no one can get in. Even Stephen Cakes was saying he's trying to get in. I have no idea why it's not working. You could
Okay,
get
well,
in. I have no
I'm glad we
idea.
got. I was actually planning to like not come on tonight.
That's okay.
But then when everybody was struggling, I said, I've never had a problem. Let me try.
Right. This is the
So-
first time for this too. I have no idea why that happened. I think maybe for next time I'll put like the official link in here that I give like my guests. Oh, there's Stephen
Yeah.
Cake. All right, well he made it. All right, well let me let you go and get into Stephen before I go
I
here.
appreciate everybody. I bless everybody who's in the chat. Have a wonderful night. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Mara and
right.
Mika.
All right, thank you. We'll see you later. Bye-bye. And there's Michael. All right, so we'll have to find out from Stephen what happened, how he was or wasn't able to get here. And I'm glad he made it, so he didn't miss. Stephen,
Well, I just got back.
what has
The
been
golf
going
course.
on? Have you been trying to get in and had trouble this evening?
No, I literally just got back from the golf course.
Again?
I was out there golfing.
You were at the clubhouse again? With the golf club?
Of course, I was out there. You go to golf.
I thought you
You
were
go
at
to
the
golf in-
country club.
This is the building where I live.
Oh, nice. Looks
You
like a
can see that.
3-story building. Or is
Yeah,
it
it's a 3-story. It's 100 years old. Some people say it was haunted.
Wow.
I don't know.
You never
There's
know.
one room in here where, like, one of the workers, it was a bathroom for the workers, and they said, "Come in here and just stand in here." And I was like, "Yeah, it feels weird being in there."
And now
There's
that
just stuff
house,
like,
that house isn't built over a cemetery, was it?
it was an old apartment, and then they've just used it for different things. Right now, it's been used for a board and lodge.
Oh, wow. Well, a lot of people are saying that they haven't been able to get in tonight. Did you have any trouble getting on?
I literally just connected. I didn't see
But
any
you
of the
connected
show,
on. But you connected on the first try.
Yes.
I don't know.
Connect.
You see, I was telling everybody that weird stuff happens.
It does happen. I
And
noticed that.
you were able. You just typed in the pass. Did you join by just clicking? You typed in the passcode and the room ID.
And you know what, I've done that so many times now. I have that memorized.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
The
you should
password.
after so many years.
Oh.
So I've already got a question asking for the juggling.
Okay, we're gonna get the juggling. I brought the balls with me. Let me see if I can set this up here. Let's see if I can just set it up for
I
you
don't
people.
know.
Well,
We need to.
okay. We got more power this time, folks. We got the big boys coming. We got 6 of them now.
We're up to 6. Did you always have 6, or was it 4?
Well, I had let's see here. I'll just do, here's 5 ball. I've done 5 balls on the show before.
We've got orbs, people.
Yeah. These are the power orbs.
It
They
looks
give me
really cool.
power. But
All right.
yeah,
Let's do 6.
oh my god, too sexy. All right. All right, well today the 3 in 1 hand. And then try to put them together. So here we go. And
It was working.
well, I say I'm not a numbers juggler. I'm more like, I like to just go up to people, go, hey, oh hey, how are you? Just go up to people and just go, would you like to say some juggling? That's what I usually do. I just go up to people that are sitting down, not doing anything, and say, I would like to entertain you.
So someone wanted to know how you connected. Did you use the email link or did you just type it in? But I thought you have it memorized. You just type it in, right?
Yeah, I was on it's Zoom.
Mm-hmm. You just go to join a meeting and hit the room ID and then type that in and type the passcode.
Yeah, I had it already in the phone.
Okay.
Already.
So I don't know. It's just one of those days.
It's one of those days.
Maybe the
working out.
Maybe the mind jackers were here causing trouble.
Mind jacker number 1. What do you want, Jeff? We're busy hijacking Steve's mind. Just kidding. We're joking around. We're just having fun with Steven all the time, every day. He's got to enjoy his life. Yeah, I told you that was one of the lessons they taught me, was part of this enlightenment was life is about doing the things you want to do. And so they said I was making bad decisions. I go, I wish everyone could have a voice that corrects them.
Yeah.
Because it's like everyone is getting things wrong, but it doesn't matter that much either. We can all get things wrong.
Wow.
That's fine. I'll just get a lot of things wrong in life. But see, I wasn't I was begging God to help. I was begging God. And there's no one up there answering the prayers, but reality manifests around what people want. That's why reality can't be ever figured out. Because people say, oh, I have the truth. I have the truth. I go, well, it's manifesting around something. What is it manifest? And they're just going to correct me whatever I say here. They're letting me talk without interrupting me, but they will be correcting me later.
Wow. Yeah, you know, a lot of the indie ears basically end up saying that we take life too seriously. We should lighten up and enjoy life more.
Yeah, because they get worried about this bad thing might happen. You know, they get worried and they're not doing the things they want to do in life. That's a lot of times I hear that in those near-death experiences. They said I had opportunities to do these things, and then I was like, don't focus on yourself. Like, I feel better when I'm helping others.
Yeah.
When I'm out there entertaining people.
Right.
But they also I'll just say, like, who can I juggle for? Who can I talk to? Or who can I get a ride back? Because I was down there last Saturday night and they said that guy. And they tried to give me money. They were busking. They were singing, playing guitar. And I started singing with them, juggling with them. And they tried to give me money. I was like, no, I don't need it. Darling.
So, what do you think about twin flame relationships? Do you know much about them?
I wish I had one.
You wish you had a twin flame?
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing is, like, the woman that I just instantly loved her. It's like I could feel people's right here when I'd meet someone. They call it the solar plexus. When I would meet someone, it's like I would feel either anxiety or calmness right here. And there's a saying, home is where your heart is. It's where you feel loved.
Right.
And when I was with her, I felt like I was home.
Right.
But I haven't, she's not talking to me. She's not a very, the mindjackers say she's a very bad girl. She's not good.
What?
Because she lied to, her and her mother lied about me.
Oh.
Yeah.
It turned out.
They lied, folks. They lied and people died, folks. They can't do it. Yeah, it's like, I just wish things were working out. How about that?
Yes.
People care. I'm praying for people to care. Please care.
Yes. Well, that's been a big topic this week, is soulmates and twin flames. I think I talked about it with 3 guests this week. And it was fascinating that I had, what's really fascinating is, and a lot of you guys don't know it because I privated the videos, but in the beginning of this podcast, I couldn't get any paranormal guests, or barely any. So I was just interviewing whoever also to kind of learn how to do it. And I used to interview all these dating coaches. And a guy, it was kind of like back to my roots the other day. I interviewed the guy that had an NDE, but he's also like a relationship expert. And we were talking about twin flames and something I never heard of before called trauma bonds. Did you catch that one?
No, but I
missed that.
Yeah. So if I say there's a greater mind, like I get corrected and they said, no, there isn't. It's just reality. But it seems like there's a greater mind that can give people gifts. And because I was almost a dating expert there for a while, because I could read people's gifts, and I would say, like, you should get into this and you should do this and you're really good at that. And it was just going on and on. I said, I don't have that one anymore.
What do you mean you don't have that gift anymore?
No, it's like I called it the enlightenment. So it was 6 months, and I went through all these phases, and in some of them I was a medium, a pet psychic. I could read people's gifts. I could see blessings and curses. I had an overlay on reality, so they could make it so I could talk to a therapist, or I could talk to Joe Rogan, or sometimes they made it seem like you were talking to me. But see, like, eventually I caught on that they were doing it. See, it wasn't you talking to me. It wasn't, that person. They were just posing as. That's why I say there's like a greater mind that just shows up for whoever, it can show up as angels, demons,
Right.
God, spirits, whoever.
I think you've mentioned that before, that you've had dreams where you were talking to Joe Rogan.
Well, they had this, I called it a greater mind. So it's like they could just simulate it. So it's like I'm just talking to them.
But this was in a dream?
What's that like? What's that like?
This is in a dream?
Yeah, or I would do an impression of Morgan Freeman. I would do an impression of Morgan Freeman, and then they would show me Morgan Freeman saying, I don't sound anything like that.
Well, Stephen, I got to do what I got to do.
We got to do what we got to do. We got to do what we got to do. Let it go up in the air. I love everyone. Want everyone to have a great day. And God bless you.
Thank you, Stephen. God bless you. I'm glad you made it.
God bless.
All right. Have a wonderful evening and a great week.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right. Well, Stephen made it. That's awesome. And a big round of applause for Stephen. And I want to say thank you to Leslie Kings. I think he had put a super thanks up here. Thank you for that, Leslie. Sending love to Jeff and Mara. God bless you. Thank you, Leslie, and God bless you. And Top Notch. Thank you. Again, who are you, Top Notch? You keep being so generous to us, but thank you so much for that. And he says, blessed to be a part of this community. We love and appreciate you, Jeff and Mara. So thank you again, Top Notch. It's very kind of you. Oh, he was on that. And he came on here 5 months ago? Wow. He wrote here, love you, Stephen. Okay, well, guys, I guess it was a glitchy night. Unfortunately, we didn't get many people on. I'm not sure what happened. Hopefully we won't have a problem next week. And I think I usually give like an official link to my guests, and maybe I need to put that next time. We'll see. Maybe I'll just put that there. Hopefully things will go normally as they usually do. But again, thank you guys so much for coming and sharing with us. Thank you for being a subscriber. And Top Notch is Kyle. I remember that name. Let's see where it says that, but I remember the name Kyle. People are saying it's Kyle. And Kyle, okay. Well, Kyle, again, thank you for that. We really appreciate it. And so that's another week. And we look forward to seeing you all back again next week. And we have all these videos planned for you guys, so I hope you enjoy them. And that's basically it. And hopefully we'll get that silver play button in soon. I need to check in on that and see how long, and hopefully it won't take too long to get it. So on that note, thank you guys again. We really appreciate you. We love you. Have a great night. God bless you, and goodbye.